I think that most of you must be aware of the word which had been very often used in Dadi's classes, and especially Dadi Janki mentions in Hindi the word is Bhavana. It's not a sister's name. Yes, we have a sister. Her name is Bhavana. But also Bhavana is, just I am talking of word in Hindi, Bhavana. And how many of you have heard this word Bhavana? Many of, well, oh, wow, every one of you. It makes it so easy. And I would want to just describe a little bit on what exactly when we say word Bhavana. And Bhavana really means feelings and very, very deep intent. Because intentions and the feelings, they are very deeply merged within attitude. But then here when we talk of bhavana, we talk of pure feelings. I remember that few years ago when brother from Australia asked me, what is the place of feelings within Brahmin life? I remember at that time mentioning that, oh no, we don't go by feelings, because some or other, one of the aspect of feelings is being sensitive. And when you are sensitive, you kind of respond in the way of expressing your feelings, and they could be in the form of reaction, and they could be positive response. Sometimes it's not very positive. And then we used to say that change those feelings, because being sensitive is really very good, because that means you're a very high-powered person, because your energy is sensitive. But then Baba has given us knowledge, so we become sensible in the sense of we have a very natural process within the self. Like one of the process, like I was thinking, there are some people, they don't know sorting out. And so when they think and when they talk, they talk. They could have sorted out and said things in a more realistic way or to the point, or which could make more meaning to others than just expressing myself. So then we know that this person doesn't have power to sort out. In sorting out what is useful to say, when to say, it could be thoughts or it could be words. And sorting out is where it makes you a person, your words are more meaningful, more important. Everyone will listen because you have done some homework on that. In the same way, when it comes to feelings, and feelings also, if there is inner attention, they are filtered. And when they are filtered, then naturally from mixed feeling, ordinary feeling, negative feelings, our feelings become very pure feelings. Our feelings could also be mixed in the sense of when we use the word, well, I am not sure. So your feelings are very mixed about something. And sometimes they could be very useless because there is really no substance, there is no essence, there is no meaning into that, but you are just feeling it. Someone comes and tells you, these days I feel you have really hatred towards me. And you say, who, me? Yeah, that's what I feel. And you think you fell from sky because that's the last thing you would think you have in your mind. But it's like feelings. And then we also know it's very subtly the expression which is coming from the past sanskars. One of the expression from past sanskars also is feelings, like thoughts is one way of expression of sanskars, words in another way of expression. The feelings also is expression which comes from the sanskars. And if we don't really process it and filter it, then they could be very loose. They could be very kind of hurting your own self through those feelings. You could then, when you are hurt, you can't bring happiness to someone. No? Anyone who is hurt because of anything, whenever there will be words and drishti sharing, it will be from pain. It will be from that sadness. It won't be possible to share the feelings. So here what we're talking about is pure feelings. And that is bhavana. And pure feelings are actually very, very important in one's own life. First is I have to think of how bhavana will help me in my personal growth. My spiritual growth, as much bhavana I have. So what bhavana brings is a very respectful attitude, your respectful thinking, your respectful way to talk to others. A person who has bhavana knows that feelings, what I am saying, it means a lot to me and to someone else. Not that I just say whatever I have to say. In the sense of respecting. Respect is not you bow to someone. Respect is not just you obey and listen to someone. Respect is an interaction amongst ourselves. And with that respect, in the sense of always knowing that whatever that individual is, I must respect. And that's why Baba had been talking a lot on self-respect, because respect really comes from self-respect. Because if my feelings towards my own self are of frustration, if there are frustration in the feelings, then naturally what you will be sharing with others will always be some kind of frustrations, because that's deep within you, in your feelings. So respect is which comes from bhavana. That have bhavana towards everyone, so that a very respectful relationship can be created. And also feelings, I feel they should not be just only pure, but they are also to be elevated. And there should be truth in those feelings. And sometimes for us, truth is more a factual, like how we describe truth. Oh, well, I was hurt, so I must say it, because I am very honest. I'm very truthful. But we don't know that what I am reacting now, other person I'm saying it, then other person will react. But rather what I will do at that time is say that no, what should be my feelings. The truth really is true feelings, total honest feelings. As much there is truth within your feelings, honesty within your feelings, those feelings will work. Because at this time, why bhavana is important? Because bhavana brings accomplishment. Bhavana will pull the resources. When you have bhavana in you, within you, you are full of pure feelings, full of true feelings. The response of that will be a lot of cooperation. Because you had bhavana. It's not desire. It's not just thoughts, but you have really pure bhavana. So when you have pure bhavana, then there is more and more accomplishments. So what you will start experiencing is a lot of cooperation. Because of your accomplishment and cooperation will be natural result of your bhavana. And also what is important is to be very stable in your feelings. Because sometimes our feelings also keep fluctuating, keep changing. Today they are good, by evening they are different. But if there is stability, that means love. Love in my feelings should be constant. Whatever a person is, whatever a person does, whatever that person's part is, what should be in my feelings? Love. So what will make it constant, what will make it stable is quality of love. Like Baba. Baba loves everyone. Is there any soul who will say, Baba doesn't love me? Or do we know that, is there any soul that Baba won't love that soul? Even at this time, according to us, might be playing a very role of destructive or whatever role that soul is playing. And if you ask Baba, Baba, do you love this soul? Baba will say yes. So my feelings, to make my stability within feelings, because what will happen when there is stability in feelings, there is a lot of trust. Because self-trust also comes from stability in feelings. But if internally my feelings also keep changing, then there is lack of self-trust. Then either I am confident, but I am not certain. Confidence is more like, okay, intellectually, why can't I do it? I can do it, I will do it. It's confidence, but not necessarily trust, because later on, you will still doubt. I don't know if I did was right. I don't know if I said was right. Oh, I am right, but I'm not sure if I was right. These kinds of thoughts are coming because of lack of self-trust. Stability within feelings give you such a gift of self-trust. And self-trust creates a voice or thoughts. I'm talking like same thoughts are like a voice within you, which voice is very, very clear, is always certain about everything, always has that feelings of trust in that. So I was thinking, Lord, that now in our Brahmin lives, one thing we should always see that our feelings are very stable, in the sense of they're not going to be getting mixed with the influences, being sensitive, because someone said it, then I change feelings towards that person. Because what happens that when feelings are not right, then your power to discern is affected. And just imagine that if my power to discern is not working as it should work, then how many mistakes one can make. You can't be your own guide, you can't take directions from Baba, because your power to discern is. So always just see that my feelings stay pure, my feelings stay full of love, my feelings stay full of truth, my feelings stay full of understanding. So what I would say you take as a homework, then make a list and just make a chart to see what kind of feelings you are able to maintain longer and longer duration. Maybe love, yes. Mercy, yes. Kindness, yes. And some feelings, they disappear or they change. And it's a very beautiful way to look at your own self, because this way you can directly also notice what kind of sanskars are still deep within, sitting there, which maybe you are not aware, but through feelings you will know that these feelings are coming from my old sanskars. So I still have those sanskars, otherwise why I would respond in such a way towards, through my feelings. So one of the way to see, first compare which qualities I am able to use more in my feelings and which qualities I find are very difficult. Like even when it comes to enthusiasm, it's really through your feelings. You really just feel, oh, I want to do it. You get very enthusiastic. What is courage? What is being fearless? Because feelings are something like, it could be your angel and it could be your shadow. In the sense of it's something very subtle. When I say shadow, it's something dark. It's always behind you. But when I'm saying angel, it's like your feelings are guiding you like angel. So what I would want, angel with me, isn't it? I won't want shadow. So shadow really is coming from your sanskars, from your influences. But angel is something which is emerging and being created and is constantly guiding you. So homework which I take is to make my feelings full. Because sometimes there could also be emptiness. Like, I am tired, I don't know what to do. There is no energy left. Now what happened to the energy? It's like your feelings are not full. Or there are no feelings. Sometimes you say, I don't have any feelings now. That means you are hurt. Or you have taken something more seriously than it's necessary. So this way what starts happening is that you start protecting your feelings. That they shouldn't, the feelings are very fragile, very delicate. So as much I protect those feelings. So all this is homework for the self. Bhavana, so that my bhavana is there. I remember when there was a partition of country, a lot of people used to say, oh, we used to have bhavana, we used to have faith in God, now we have lost everything. We didn't know this will happen to my family, because physical situations when they are adverse, that's the time also bhavana can get lost. Or suppose you have bhavana towards a senior, a lot of love, a lot of respect, you look at her as an image, source of inspiration, but suddenly something happens, let's say a few words are said, or something happens, and then say, well, now I don't have bhavana towards that soul. So should I change bhavana, or should I say that maybe I need to keep more bhavana towards that soul, so that soul feels more like something is being shared. My relationship with seniors always had been that my bhavana, whatever, because each one of us, in whatever position or responsibility one is, also has some personal karmic accounts, sorting out, taking care of sanskars. Everything is there, but why should my bhavana reduce? So when your bhavana is there, the relationship will continue in a very beautiful way. And these days I find within Brahmin life, what is very important is bhavana towards each other. What is my bhavana? That you are also a pure soul. You are also Baba's child. There are always some souls who are different than you. So one soul used to get very impatient. She used to feel that she gets angry. I said, no, you don't get angry, but you are very impatient. So when you have impatience, then you get irritated, and your voice becomes loud, then you start saying things, but I always used to look at her. She's such a good instrument of bhava. So I kept that bhavana towards that soul. Keep a bhavana towards every Baba's child. This time Baba had said souls who are in knowledge or not in knowledge. Those who are in knowledge, all Baba's children, it is actually Dadi's bhavana in us, their trust in us that we are what we are today. I always say it was Dadi's bhavana in me that I am able to do what I am doing now. if she doesn't have that bhavana in me. So share bhavana towards each other. And somebody says, I am not worthy. You are worthy. Who said you are not worthy? You are a worthy child. Baba says every child is worthy child. So create that bhavana. So you can encourage everyone. You can help other souls. Not only that, but that's what is called Mansa Seva. What is Mansa Seva? Your bhavana. And it works wherever souls are. You are able to help them through Mansa Seva because of your bhavana. You understand? Because you have bhavana, even today that soul is not what Baba told me 40 plus years before was Baba's bhavana towards me. It's not that I was that, no way. But because Baba had bhavana, Dadis have bhavana, not only that, but within the family there is so much bhavana. And I feel what I am today, 80% is because of that bhavana and 20% is my effort. I don't know how many of you feel that what has helped you a lot in your life is bhavana of others or bhavana of seniors towards you. Yeah, how many of you feel the help of bhavana? You all feel. Because it is, so then what should we do now towards others? If my experience is that their bhavana, so that's what Baba is saying, look at souls. They are pure, they are peaceful, so your bhavana will reach them. So Mansa Seva cannot happen unless you have bhavana. So bhavana is, that means the image of that being as a perfect being, not what person is today. Like Baba's drishti on us is not what we are today. When Baba comes and the way he talks to us, most elevated, highest on high and richest of all and purest of all. And so first thought you will say, not me. But that's Baba's bhavana. So within Brahmin family, very easy way also this way, settling, whether there are conflicts or little differences, keep bhavana towards each other. So when you will keep bhavana, you are serving. Very subtle service you are doing, and what will happen, that souls will deeply feel a lot of love towards you, not attachment, but they really will feel a lot of support. And I find sometimes, mostly because, see, we have knowledge, and Baba has explained us law of karmas, and we understand everything, so we use intellect a lot all the time. But we don't use bhavana. So when there is balance of use of intellect and bhavana, that is use of knowledge and bhavana. Every time like person wants to just feel very being loved, and I start giving a lecture on the topic of love. So that soul will look at me and say, well, that's not what I look for. But with sweet drishti, just pure feelings when I meet that soul got what that soul wanted. So sharing within Brahmin family at this time should be with that bhavana. So that you always look at the speciality. You always look at what is good in that soul. And there must be definitely a lot good, otherwise why the soul has been chosen to be child, why soul has been chosen to be instrument. So just see that when you are full of bhavana, then your relationships are very respectful. One thing I at least enjoy in my life is these loving relationships. What really one can give to each other? Everyone, one's own fortune is going on very well, but sharing pure feelings, sharing those good feelings is something which leaves a very, very deep uh, feelings of that true love, true understanding. I remember when I went to Ahmedabad to attend this program for 100,000 souls. So when I was leaving, and then Sarla Didi was saying goodbye, and she said, I have very special love for you. I don't know, maybe it's something like that. But the way she was expressing her love. So whole program, all the time you spend there, whatever way you are physically taken care of you. But what is best part of that is sharing those pure feelings. And sharing those most beautiful feelings it's not that before we always used to be scared of attachment. There was a time we always thought, no, I can't share feelings because we get attached to each other. That's why I'm saying when a few years ago somebody asked me about feelings, I said Brahmins doesn't have word feelings. And it's true, we had really become like disciplined, always remembering law of karma. I can't do anything for you, it might create karma. I can't do this, might create karma. That might become bondage. So we always kind of measured everything in such a way because of this fear of attachment. But now we know that there is true love. In purity, what emerges is true love. 3 years ago, Dadi Janki came to New York. She said, what you all have to do is nothing, just share true love. And I was just looking at her and I said, what about, being administrator, you have to do this, you have to do this. She said, everything will happen. There are others who will do it, but what you all have to do is to just share this true love. And now I understand that it really, that true love, feelings of true love work so well. That soul start feeling so rich, so confident, so much energy comes in. So this is the way to serve, share within Brahmin family, but also when you are serving, in the sense of you are meeting other souls. Because if we are ancestors, as Baba said, then the bhavana of people should emerge, isn't it, towards us. So as much your feelings are crystal clean and pure and very elevated, then what will happen? The feelings of others. How they will find their roots? We are their roots. How will they find their ancestors? Through our feelings towards them. Like Dadi Janki always shared that when she sits at airport, or wherever children look at her, they come and they want to hug her, and she has this toli container always to give them, and the souls get connected very quickly because of her pure feelings. No? Because of her bhavana, even souls who don't know her, they start feeling a pull. And many say, oh, we could see your grandmother. Wherever she goes, they say, oh, we look at you, you are my grandmother, you are my mother was like you. It's not she's mother in the sense of physical way, but her pure feelings create bhavana. So one is bhavana amongst Brahmins, other is when you are image of bhavana or pure feelings, then bhavana of devotees will be responded. Bhavana, even the subjects, towards the king and queen, there has to be bhavana. Otherwise there will be status conscious. How can you be king and I am not king? How come you got this number and I didn't get? Who are you to get status? I didn't. Because they don't have bhavana. So they will question you. Isn't it? Baba had said that day that when you have to get number, then you have to get also certificate from family. Maybe also from the souls who are in contact. So how their bhavana towards me, bhavana of devotees and bhavana of subjects, because each one of us, we are kings, so there should be bhavana. On one side, when we use word ruler, you might think ruler means take a rule and discipline. A rule means stick and say, I'm a ruler, is a controller. You know that word controller has gone out of dictionary. That's where whole management has come in. If you have good management, you don't need to control. If you have good management, you don't need to supervise. There's nothing like control these days. So response of devotees towards you. When we were young, Nimal Shanda Dadi used to tell us that when you open the door, let's say you are alone and somebody knocks the door of center, when they open the door, they should feel. And when I used to go to temple, the image of goddess used to be still, and here the image of goddess had walked and opened door for me. I remember as a young, when I came as a young Brahmin, I liked that so much. He said, when you walk towards door and open the door, and a devotee has come, should say, look, goddess has come herself to open door for me. In the temple, goddess only sits there. So it's not when you sit then only that bhavana will emerge, but your every action. Even when you are in action, bhavana of devotees should be fulfilled. I was thinking a lot on this subject of how the bhavana of devotees can be fulfilled, and how the bhavana towards us as ancestors, if I'm still trapped and caught up and spend a lot of time just on my own self, sorting out. So when will it happen that the souls of the world will say, oh, this is my ancestor, oh, I know you. We say, where did you see me? I know you, I feel very connected. I feel I have seen you. So how will that sound emerge? Being image of bhavana. And thirdly, when you have bhavana, even the nature responds. Because in Golden Age we say 5 elements, or the nature is server. They are at our service. That's why Baba gives example. If you leave in a corner or a crossing of the road a little image of a goddess, next morning you go, there are some flowers, there are some fruits, and every day somebody leaves and there is pile of that. Then one day one decides to create a temple and then start worshipping. No, Baba gives example of when we come at one of the crossing there was accident. So they thought that there was accident and it's dangerous, so they made a little temple, little image of Hanuman. And now it has become a big temple. And it's a way, it's very good because the drivers, because of their bhavana, they stop. But also it's such a curve, it's such a turn, that if they stop and reduce their speed, it's safer. So it is bhavana, but also, so if it could happen with just one idol, and we all are living beings, just imagine that, how much bhavana. So wherever you will walk, you go, you will find that there is, even the nature is so cooperative, it's so much like offerings are coming to you. No Brahmin in life, say, like this morning Baba said, should say that cat has gone and mouse has come and now a spider might come or sparrow might come. That means today I have this problem, tomorrow I have this problem, day after I have this problem. So what is missing is some deeper bhavana in you. So when there is bhavana, the nature, whether it comes to prosperity, whether it comes to good health, whether it comes to good relationship, whatever it is, The nature is going to fulfill it for you. Something will come, happen to body. Okay, it came, okay, what's there, it gone. Will it happen again or again? If it will happen, we will see what happens. And fourthly, bhavana. When there is bhavana in you, you can be a very good instrument for Baba's task. In the task of establishment, your bhavana, to make that task accomplished. I give you example, let's say Baba talked of perfect purity. Now, just imagine your purity and purity in that bhavana. So Dadiji had this thought, this Shiv Jayanti, I want gatherings, 100,000 and more. Within 4 weeks, Gujarat created a program and had 150,000 gathering. 150,000. I just went to see, I really wanted to see what it is all, But it's just her thought. Because it came from that bhavana, that when will souls get message? If we just go for few hundred, little by little, how will it happen? So her bhavana was so powerful. And that bhavana created elevated thought. Tomorrow is in Bombay, then we'll be in Punjab. April, Delhi wants to do. And then she looks at us, double foreigners, and we say, well, if you have bhavana, it's going to happen. So bhavana, when an elevated thought is created through that deep feelings of love and mercy towards the soul, her elevated thought, like sometimes you need at least 6 months to arrange a program for 100,000, 4 weeks. And the sister who is coordinator, Sarla Didi, she was traveling with us to Rajkot, to this place, to that place, and she just make phone calls. And whole program is arranged. 20,000 from here, 10,000 from here, 15,000. Now what is this? It came from her bhavana. That means as deeper, as pure you create your bhavana, your thought will create wonders. So much service will happen because it won't be just planning and you sit and create big plans. But if there is no bhavana, we know it's all intellectual games. We want to do this, we want to do this, should happen, that should happen. And when next meeting happens, we say, let's see what happened. Oh, we didn't have time even to look at agenda. One time we had a meeting and there were so many proposals. So when we met again, nobody has touched anything. So what is this? Because it was all through intellect. But when it comes from bhavana, bhavanas can emerge when there is real true solitude. People say good ideas emerge when you are in solitude and silence. But actually what is emerging is from your deeper self. And they function, they work so well. I remember a few months before I had a thought. And Dani Janki was visiting me for 24 hours and she said few words about something, and after that I just had one thought. But because it has touched me deeply and it came from that deep being, it just started happening. And that could have been 10 years ago. Of course it was time, but it came from deeper self, from bhavana. So even for Baba's service, what is most important at this time is not just keep intellectually planning. Okay, when Baba says be merciful, what he means, be merciful, because then it's from your bhavana. It's not like, I remember one instrument, whenever she came back after giving class, she said, it was very good class, 26 came. It was very good class, 45 came. It was very good class, 20 came. I said, why she gives number of souls all the time? Because what she felt that whenever I go, there are more people. Then I told her that why you always count how many came, I thought the hall will be full when you are there. But just imagine, because it's so much limited intellect. It's not coming from love, it's not coming from mercy, it's coming from how big I can do, how many souls I can convince. We have to go beyond that now. Our service towards Yajna, our service towards Baba, service towards the souls should come from Bhavana. Then what Baba says, less effort and more success. With little, there is lot of accomplishment. Otherwise, we do a lot and then we say, oh, so much has been done. I don't know if it's worth to arrange a lot of big program, because what was the result? But what is missing really? So in solitude, being with Baba, when bhavana for service will emerge, the plans will emerge from your that deep self, then you will see how magic, when Baba said magic will happen, miracles will happen, that's only will happen when I am doing it with that bhavana. But if I am only intellectually giving that course, okay, people keep taking and appreciating. Let's say 2 services Baba has given us. One is air qualities. Air should emerge. Now it is your bhavana which will guide that soul to become air. But if your bhavana is towards that soul, oh no, this is not air quality, this is not worthy. But within your drishti, within your bhavana, when you look around and you will say, oh, this is air quality. So what air quality will need is just sustenance. Good atmosphere, good sharing, just sustenance. Then Baba says what should emerge should be mics. First we say, but why Baba wants mics? Why Baba talks of VIP service? Why Baba? It's because they could do a lot of service. No? They could become instrument. Someone recently was sharing that you stand up and give introduction of Brahma Kumaris, and a contact soul stands up and says few things, appreciating Brahma Kumaris, how much impact that soul makes than you giving introduction. So it's like becoming mic, no? So when Baba says, you give the might and let them be mic, and some don't say, no, I am the one who is going. Yeah, you also do. So this year, bhavana in service is what? To create air souls. And we are selfless, because what you're going to get? Again, another thing in bhavana is being selfless. Even if there is little bit of my personal interest, this soul will come, then center will be supported, this soul will come, and this will happen, it will become a big center. Whose place is this? Baba's place is, Baba looks for them, Baba gets them. Selfless. As much you are selfless, your capacity to serve and create air souls will function very fast. Otherwise you will be stuck. Somewhere or other you are got something what you want, then you're sitting there. Then you want something, you got it, then you get stuck there. That power to sustain, to create airs constantly, to create mics, that really comes from true bhavana towards souls. You must have seen, whenever you start conversing with any soul, and if you really keep those feelings, the conversation changes into very lovely relationship, and then now how to sustain those relationships, that power comes from bhavana. But if I do not have bhavana, like someone was talking very nicely to this person, and as soon as that person said, she said, I don't think this one is air. So I said, you rejected your own services. By saying this, you rejected your own services. See, because her bhavana changed now. So bhavana is not something like which is limited to 1, 2, 10, but bhavana is let the heirs be born. Whether it's at this center, this country, wherever. And if Baba has to make you instrument, he will make you instrument. But there should be general feelings in my heart that heirs should be born and mics should be born. And sometimes you will find, some might say, well, only this soul can be instrument for mics. Doesn't happen. I remember when we wanted to get names for Peace Village. So we all said, what should be the name? What should be? I was coming in car with one brother and he said, what about Peace Village? So I said, sounds very good. Okay, these are 6 names we sent to Baba. Let Baba decide on one. And if I mention to you, nobody knows about that brother, in the sense he's not very, but just came a nice word. How Million Minutes of Peace project, one young brother in Australia, Amrit Vela, got this thought. Baba can make instrument to anyone. I remember that many times, whatever way you are serving, but your bhavana is okay, let them be holy, let them be yogi. Pure bhavana. Not I need anything. Wherever they are, wherever it's happening, even if it's happening where I am, but be very selfless and unlimited. Because in my feelings, in my bhavana, as much I am unlimited, that much you are serving through the mind. And automatically, your own spiritual stage, not only that, but the credits which you are getting is because your bhavana is unlimited. Only something good should happen to this one. I know 20 souls, to everyone. You remember that Brahma Baba, even before coming to knowledge, there is an example from his life stream when Baba said that whenever he used to give charity, he used to say, let the reward of this charity be shared by every needy one. Because he already have enough, it's not he is looking for. And I remember so much of that that means whatever reward of charity has to come should be shared by all needy ones. So when there is bhavana, it's unlimited. And that's Mansa Seva. Bhavana really is. Many come and say, you didn't give up on me. See, I am this because of that. So give up on me, what it means that you kept bhavana. I had been like this, I did this, I said things to you, but you didn't change your mind towards me. But that means your bhavana didn't change. You understand? So bhavana shouldn't change. Bhavana should be, as I said, selfless and unlimited. So the task at this time, I think what is required when you give knowledge, you give course, whatever, we have to do everything, but there should be those pure feelings. Very deep, intense feelings of love towards the souls. You will say little, and it will work much more. Sometimes you give 1 hour lesson and in the end they haven't understood much. But when there is bhavana, when you're giving, they say, yes, we understood what you said. So communication in bhavana is what touches the souls. And one who has bhavana also then should be bhavana towards Baba. Not only faith. Because faith is sometimes you start testing too. I have faith in Baba, let me see if this works. When there is bhavana, you say it's going to work anyway. That will be your answer. In faith, you will say, I have kept faith, now let me see how it works. Because it's your intellect. But bhavana is in your heart, and you say, well, I have told Baba, now I have to think. It's going to happen. Bhavana has this response, this support which comes from your heart. But faith is all through intellect. Little thing doesn't go the way it is, we start doubting. Our language becomes like as if, oh, what happened to this Brahmin now? So sometimes there is not enough bhavana. So bhavana, which is good for the self because it keeps you full, elevated, good feelings. So it's bhavana within the self, bhavana within the family, bhavana towards service of the souls who haven't yet got message. Bhavana will create a relationship with nature. And bhavana also. Like you sit there and you say, oh, Baba hasn't yet given me drishti. I don't think he will give. Now that's, you are using your intellect. You sit with that bhavana. Within a second you will find Baba's drishti is on you. Bhavana reaches fast. People talk of telepathy, mind, thoughts reaching thoughts. But thoughts reaching thoughts, thoughts you can still forget. But bhavana is where you are very deeply communicating. I sit in front of Baba. What I want from Baba? His drishti, his rays, his power. I sit with that bhavana. And when you sit with bhavana, you're not tired also. Anything you want to do and there is less bhavana, you give up. Bhavana gives a lot of strength, a lot of energy. You can keep going on when there is bhavana. When bhavana is not there, you feel very dry, empty. So bhavana is something which I feel is very important. Whatever you feel is the need, just have bhavana. You don't have to push, you don't have to force, you don't have to, just have pure feelings. It will happen. When you have bhavana, when you have pure feelings towards the individual, towards the task, it will work definitely. But then, as I said, just to review in 1 minute, what is needed in my bhavana? If it's not working as it should, whether helping souls for transformation or helping souls for realization or helping Baba in unlimited task, if it's not happening, what is missing in my bhavana? Am I very self-centered? Am I only thinking of my own self? Am I only so deeply within check? Is there enough love in bhavana? Is there enough purity in bhavana? Is there truth in bhavana? Is there respect in bhavana? Is there faith in bhavana? All this has to come into bhavana. So whatever is filled in bhavana, your strength keep increasing, your determination keep increasing, and every step you take with that bhavana, there is success, there is accomplishment. But someone said, oh, I kept bhavana, it didn't work. So why don't you continue keeping bhavana? You understand? It could happen, you say, but it's 1 year I had been keeping bhavana. It didn't work. So what was missing in your bhavana that 1 year you had this thought and didn't happen? So don't even lose that. Continue with bhavana, it will happen. That's also bhavana, to have continue with bhavana. Bhavana towards bhavana. Right? Bhavana towards bhavana. That's also something very, very important. So I feel that actually yesterday I went to give class in Global Hospital and they said, what topic you will take? I said, bhavana. And of course it was in Hindi, but when I was talking, I just thought maybe it's a good subject to share because we hear this word and But it's really something which I definitely feel in my life, one of the fulfillment I have, either personal or in the task, is my bhavana. Whether it's towards anyone, as I said, it's always bhavana. So you are respectful, you are sharing, you are kind, you are naturally good qualities emerge when there is bhavana. When there is no bhavana, you shut the door. That's it. With bhavana, your heart is open. You're always willing to share, you're always willing to take, receive, listen. Everything comes when there is bhavana. Otherwise, somebody start talking, you say, stop it. What's there? Listen, no? Bhavana increases that capacity to share. You share yourself much more when there is bhavana. When there is no bhavana, you are like on duty, you do it, that's it. In bhavana, it's like serving food. You get food served. One is with love, with feelings. You say, oh, I enjoyed meal today very much. It was not just the taste of food, but the feelings of that person. The love which came in. And that was actually bhavana. So you have to accept also bhavana. A lot of people have more and more bhavana on you. I shouldn't fail their bhavanas. If I am not image, then they say, oh, I always looked at her as image of contentment, but she's not. So their bhavana could, so that he always reminds us that whatever bhavana people have towards us, we should live to that image. No, when you give course, they have bhavana, she's a yogi soul. And next thing, after 5 days, you have something against, you can't get along. You say something to that soul. Oh, I thought you are like goddess for me. Didn't work. I change. But we shouldn't change bhavana. Let them change if they want to, but you keep bhavana. I know Baba. I have faith in Baba. I have relationship with Baba. I receive from Baba. So what is my bhavana towards Baba? So start with Baba, then to the world, to the family, to the self, like this. So kind of review it and experience so that it comes in your image. Whatever comes in our awareness and whatever comes in our thoughts also become part of that image. So each one of us should become image of bhavana. And that's where the visions will be granted in the end. When Baba says souls will have visions, it's from your image of bhavana. Their bhavanas will be fulfilled. Bhavanas of devotees will be fulfilled.